What's up, everybody? It's finally here, and I'm about to give you guys an top speed tune. This is gonna be a engine swap tune for the Corvette convertible C3. The engine that this car has is the C7 ZR1, which is pretty good. Rocking 1,066 horsepower. It's a 262 tune, so it's not exactly the best, but judging by how old the car is, it makes a little bit of sense. Cause I realized that most of the older cars can't exactly hit like really good high top speeds unless they were built for like slipstream top speed, really. That's why there's like the Sylvias and the RX-7 are pretty good like that because they can go pretty fast by themselves, but with engine swaps they can go a lot faster. Um, but going straight into the suspension, it's going to be pretty much the same. There's going to be a little bit difference in the spring rate or natural frequency, whatever we're going to call it. But the ride height is going to be all the way down front and rear. The anti-roll bars are going to be at 4. Keep them stock. I mean, if you guys are having issues, you can adjust them how you guys like to adjust them. But if you guys are having issues anyway, the best thing to do is to increase the anti-roll bars. I would say more in the rear than the front, but I just make them about equal most of the time anyway. Compression is going to be 40 front and rear. Expansion is going to be 30 front and rear. As I said, the nitro frequency is going to be a little bit different on this one than my other suspension tunes. The rear is going to be all the way down, but the front is at half at 2.15. And the only reason I do that is because for some reason the older cars, and as I said before, it makes a little bit of sense why they act like it a little bit, not exactly, but the older cars have like more of a softer suspension for some reason. So you gotta stiffen it up because they tend to, like with how this is set up, the faster you go, the more likely your nose is going to raise up, and it's just going to stay up. You ain't going to be able to go back down until you go into the turn. So, in order to keep that from happening, I raised up the natural frequency in the front, so that way the nose stays flat and doesn't really move at all. If it does, it's very little, and it does not change the top speed whatsoever. I would like to try to get to go faster, honestly, but again, the C3 Corvette is not exactly, to my knowledge, known for the really high top speed. To my knowledge, that's more for I think the C5, I believe, at least in my mind, and definitely the C6 and the C7 for sure. The older models, now I'm for sure on those. But going over to the camber, 0.5 front and rear, and no tail angle whatsoever. Going over to the transmission. The transmission, from what I remember, the top speed is like 260 or 280. Bring it up to 440, and then you should be fine right with that. Because for some reason with the 440, it raises the gearing a whole lot. It is ridiculous, and I believe it's been a little while, but I believe this is a 5-gear setup. If not, it's definitely a 4-gear setup. I cannot remember. I'm pretty confident it's a. Actually, I think it's a 4-gear setup. Now I think about it, I think it's a 4-gear setup because the 5th gear, I did have to readjust because it was a little bit too long. I think it's like 600 and something. So I readjusted it down to 572. So you guys shouldn't have to really worry about the final. The final should be right at 3.0 to 1.1, which should be stock. If it isn't, just readjust to that and then readjust your gearing, your gears to how I have mine, to the very last, to the numbers on the right instead of left. So 4th gear, you want 485 in order to get what I'm hitting, or at least close enough to it. With that, I'm gonna head out to the track and show you guys how well it does. I will say this: I'm pretty sure you guys can hear that, or you guys probably can't hear that. The tires will just continue to spin. So I would highly advise to be careful on the turning, and I would advise to let off the gas if you're in automatic. Let off the gas, so that way the tires keep on spinning and you spin out. But if you're in manual, like how I am, just shift up to fourth gears, not as quickly exactly because it still go slower, but go as quickly as you can, comfortably to fourth gear to get to the speed you'll be seeing. And also, with how this car is, I have sports softs on the front, so if you guys are having issues with the turning or anything like that, put sports softs on the front for tires. There's not a whole lot really about to talk about while we wait to get to the backstretch, but if you guys are in any way, shape, or form wondering what cars to grab, I would say grab the ones I'm posting right now for the engine swaps. If you guys have only a few engines, or if you have all of them, then I would say get all the engine swap cars. But ideally, I would say go for the ones I'm posting right now. Plus, and I'm pretty sure everyone's going for the RX-7 and to my knowledge at least, and the Silvia Q. Because the Silvia Q has the BRZ motor in it, and I will be posting that, not right now, but I will be posting that later on when I have more, I guess, fine-tuned, because I'm seeing where everyone is hitting with it, and I'm mainly just doing to see if anybody's having any issues. If anybody really isn't having issues, I'm not going to post it immediately. It'll be more like one of the last few cars I post for the engine swaps. But yeah, right now this is pretty good in the turn. I would be very hesitant though, honestly, because I don't trust it a whole lot. Honestly, you guys can do as you please with how from the turn and all that stuff. But continuing with the Silvia Q, that'll be one of the few last cars I post, including the RX-7 with both of them. I'm waiting to see what people are hitting, see if anybody's having any issues with hitting, this is at least around the specific speed I'm hitting. Like the RX-7, I've heard people hitting 285. I'm going to see if that's still about the average that everyone's hitting. And if that is, then I will definitely post mine, because I've gotten it to go a little bit faster than that. I have seen one post on YouTube, on another YouTube channel, this one hitting 300. So I haven't seen it yet, but I will be posting it. Look at them soon to see what they did. But right now, as you guys see here, I'm only hitting 260, but I do know it will hit 262. It's just the wind speed right now is the main big factor of why I'm not hitting it. So, but it will hit 262 with a pretty decent wind speed, wind direction, and all that stuff. But yeah, this will be the end of the video. So if you guys like the video, hit the like button. Also subscribe for more videos. I post every Monday/Thursday or Tuesday/Friday. And if you guys have any comments, put them down. If you guys have any questions, put them down in the comments below. And if you guys want to see me do any other cars I've not done yet for Koski Tunes, also post that in the comments below. After that, I'll see you guys in the next video.